if I could just do that, that's great, thanks very much. I'll just come down a little bit. Thank you. All right, many thanks. Okay. My name's John Whitty, and I'm at the University of Queensland in Australia, and my paper is called the PMBOK Code. So why is project management so prevalent? Ubiquitous it may be, but it does exhibit many inexplicable and contradictory aspects. Project management is prevalent across all business sectors and geographical regions, and it is seen as the key enabler of business change. Project management is also consuming corporate training budgets. Universities deliver project management courses at all levels, and at least one corporation and professional association is supporting the teaching of project management at high schools. The bulk of this training and teaching is modelled on the PMI's Guide to Project Management Body of Knowledge, the PMBOK Guide. And despite all this, organisations report that project failure is commonplace and that the delivery of projects to cost, time and benefits is not improving. Why, therefore, is project management so widely and commonly occurring, accepted and practiced, when it still fails to live up to expectations? The title of this paper, for conference purposes, plays on the popularity of such books as the Bible Code and the Da Vinci Code. These books allude to a secret message hidden within scripture or works of art. And I make no claim of uncovering a secret or hidden message, but I do profess to have deciphered part of the mimetic code of project management to reveal one reason why a particular form of project management is so prevalent in the West. I'm going to put forward the argument that project management is spreading because it is a well-adapted collection of memes, and that the Project Management Institute Guide to the Project Management Body of Knowledge, that is, the PMBOK version of project management, has more to do with the appearance of a capability for productivity than it does with actual productivity. My argument further suggests, as a result of this behaviour, project management is evolving in a rather toxic manner, and that in the long run, corporations will reap more benefit from project management than humans. Finally, I resolve my thoughts on this matter with a call for a reformation of the PMBOK. Last year I put forward a mimetic approach to project management research, arguing that project management behaviour is a byproduct or consequence of the natural selection process, and whilst not an adaptive trait in itself essential for our survival, it does indirectly support and enhance the corporate survival chances of its practitioners. Project management is spreading because it is a well-adapted collection of memes. Today, I characterize the PMBOK Guide version of project management as a mimetic code, the PMBOK Code. Each individual or corporation that utilizes the PMBOK is given a social competitive advantage. In marketing terms, individuals and corporations brand themselves with project management and create an impression that they have the values and traits so highly regarded in today's Western corporate culture. I'm going to describe to you how memes are the engines of cultures, and that some Western memes drive the behavior we recognize as project management. I'll discuss the PMBOK Code and highlight how it concerns with driving individuals to act professional. I draw on evidence from impression management and show that in order to socially survive in organizations, individuals are driven to put on the project management performance as an actor would perform a scene in the theatre. Finally, I reflect on the cultural environment where project management thrives, Western capitalism, and contemplate on the subjugating effect the PMBOK Code and the corporation meme is having on the freedom of humans. But first, let me tell you that we humans are hardwired for memes. The term human nature describes a bundle of tendencies shaped by the evolutionary processes of natural selection. Our physical bodies all share a common genome, which is the genetic information in DNA that directs our physical construction. A set of genes in DNA is called a genotype, and the physical expression of the genotype, the body and its behavior, is called a phenotype. Our phenotype, our nature, is a complex product of the bidirectional interactions between genotype and the physical, social, and cultural environments. Human thoughts or memories are stored across the brain as vast networks of interconnecting cells. Memes manifest as physical brain structures, patterns of neural wiring. In early human history, those brains that were better capable of spreading memes were favored by natural selection. The human brain today is literally hardwired for memes. I'm sure as project management professionals you recognize some of these memes. We all share a common physiological architecture because of the common architecture of our brain. However, we do not all share the same culture. All over the world, human societies have experienced and adapted to different environmental circumstances, cumulative experiences, and historical events. Throughout time, place, and circumstance, humans have formed different collections of memes, that is, ideas, beliefs, and practices that make up their culture. Culture is not an evolutionary adaptation. The ability to imitate was the human adaptation which consequentially leads to culture. Culture brings about a diverse set of varying behaviors, skills, and artifacts. Some are structured in such a way that they can be copied. Those that get reliably and frequently copied, individually and collectively, undergo a process of cultural selection. Each one has the ability to vary and spark off new behaviors, skills, and artifacts, each of which has the potential to be a successful meme in its own right. This, I suggest, is the case with project management, as various memes came together and mutated in the minds of some in the West during the mid-20th century. Not all human thought, emotion, and behavior patterns are brought about directly by biological natural selection. Religion, philosophy, art, science, even language is consequential of other cognitive capacities of the human brain. However, these, as well as others, such as the constructs of corporation and government, do indirectly support and enhance our existence. In a paper to be published this year, I argue that modern project management, the PMBOK version of project management, is behavior brought about by a particular collection of memes. These memes are mutually compatible, selected for their capacity to cooperate with each other. These memes have survived well in the West because they have bootstrapped themselves to our Western cultural beliefs and bring about behavioral traits in their hosts which can be characterized as a systematic, methodological, and frugal approach to the management of time, cost, and resources, including people, largely for its own end. This behavior I call the spirit of project management. We might commonly recognize it as the PMBOK guide version of project management, or the PMBOK code. In its simplest form, the PMBOK code manifests as a code of conduct or practices which encompass many forms, from methodologies to ethical and professional behavior. Now, Damien Hodson from Manchester Business School argues that the intent and effect of the professionalization of project management is the subjugation of employees, providing security and dependence whilst maintaining subordination and creating existence. He observed how project managers put on a professional performance and behave in a manner consistent with an assumed professional identity. Now, Judith Butler at George Washington University suggests that we construct our identities and our social environment through our regular repeated acts and present ourselves to the world as in a performance. Impression management is concerned with the conscious and unconscious attempt to influence the perception of others about a person, an object, or event by strategically regulating and controlling information in the social interaction. Dale Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, is a classic example of impression management. It and others deal with how to make the right impression on others. Research shows it is effective in altering the way people are perceived. And corporations such as KPMG and Ernst & Young employ image consultants to instruct their employees in the art of looking, acting, and sounding professional. Irving Goffman argues that behavior can be observed as a process of people relating to each other as actors who enact roles, and that meaning is a result of evolving interactions. Even the notion of self is derived in this way. He also argues that everyday interactions involve actors and spectators, giving and receiving impressions about who they are and who they claim to be. Today, organizations contain much of what is recognizable as theatre, role plays in professional development workshops, cabarets at Christmas parties, awards banquets, sales and marketing presentations, AGMs. In the context of project management, each project takes place on a stage with actors, costumes, uniforms if you like, scripts and props. Traditionally, we make the assumption that it is the actor that creates the role, the stage, the costumes, the scripts and the props. A mimetic approach considers that memes are the creative force, constructing the actor, the stage, and so on, as a consequence of their replication.